Laila Tov, and welcome once again as we continue our journey of this ancient ritual of counting the Omer, of the 49 steps from Pesach to Shavuot, from the narrow place, Mitzrayim, to the expanse of Bamidbar and the receiving of revelation. So let's take some breaths. Ground ourselves in the present moment as we prepare to count. And so we bless. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign spirit of the universe, who brings us holiness with the mitzvot and connects to us with the counting of the Omer. Hayom Shmona Asar Yom Shehem Shnei Shavuot V'Shisha Yamim BaOmer. Today is 18 days, which is 2 weeks and 6 days of the Omer. Netzach Shebetiferet, a day of perseverance in a week of compassion. Min hametzar karatia, min hametzar karatia, anani v'merchavia. Min hametzar karatia, min hametzar karatia, anani v'merchavia. From the narrow place, I called to you. You answered me from the wide expanse. In this past year, in this past summer, as we were entering into Tisha B'Av, entering into the most mournful day on the Jewish calendar, a day when we break down and experience a deep mourning, not for people, individuals, but for the losses of our world and who we are in it. And the various things in the ritual of it that have happened on that day that have brought us to this place of mourning. And I started that lesson, that shiur, the thread for it started with, which was to imagine what it was like for the second temple to come down, because that is one of the major things that happened on the 9th of Av, on Tisha B'Av, that the second temple was destroyed. And I brought in the eyewitness accounts from Josephus, and it is, there's fire, and it's just amazing what it is as a symbol that this place that was the center of Jewish ritual, of sacrifice, of the priestly class, of where everyone came in the land that we were brought to. And it's all coming down. and many of us have to leave. And so when something like that, I mean, imagine the traumatic, what that happened, and Judaism should have just ended at this time. And yes, if you've listened to my introduction, this is something that I am really fascinated by, because that's where the Omer lives. And yet the beauty of what happened is from that narrow place, from that place of utter destruction, the rabbis of the Mishnah reinvented, reimagined, recreated the religion based in the ancient traditions. But instead of having a specific place and instead of having a specific land, we were the ones doing the ritual. And it could go out into the expanse of anywhere. From this broken, narrow place where we were so constricted that maybe we could have gone down to nothing. And we went out into the world as ourselves, just for the new world. And this just, this metaphor just really just resonates with me in a really big way. And it has then, because I've seen the Jewish world change in this new millennia, to open up, to bring to have people are more exposed through Safari or through the text, and people are reading more. There's music and music and song and new liturgy, new ways to pray. People are being brought in. It feels like we're being reinvented again from maybe a religion that had gotten not stagnant, but coming out of a trauma of the Holocaust. What to do, so depleted in certain ways. Holding on to old ways because we felt we needed to survive, realizing that was the broken side and having to move in to a more expansive place where everyone is included. And so when we are in our broken place now, and in Jewish ritual, we're in somewhat of a broken place. We're working on a different place. We can't gather, which is seminal to who we are. We're in a narrow place, but we know that from that narrow place, we will look for the lessons where the expanse will come. And one place that lesson comes from is from Brian Stevenson. Brian Stevenson, if you don't know, is the founder of the Equal Justice Initiative. He's a lawyer who makes it his life's work to take people who are trapped in our criminal justice system, unfairly treated on so many levels because of race, because of poverty, because of circumstance, end up in one place where we would end up in another. And he's made it his life work to make sure that this what has happened, especially to people of color in the aftermath of slavery, that we are still dealing with right now. He defends people on death row. And there was, and has to just really give himself up to deal with their brokenness. And in his book, Just Mercy, which I totally recommend everyone read, he talks about a moment where he just was totally down and did not know how he was going to continue. Why does he do this? He said, well, why don't I just go? What is it? Why can't I leave it alone? And he realized that having to deal with all of this, he had become broken too. You can't deal with what he has to deal with in the level that he had, the depths that he had to go to give people life and dignity that they did deserve. But he realized that it had to break him too, because it was from that broken place that he could connect. And I just want to read you a bit from right after he had that, some thoughts he had as he was processing, knowing that about that brokenness and acknowledging that he had been broken and what that meant as he moved forward. Paul Farmer, the renowned physician who had spent his life trying to cure the world's sickest and poorest people, once quoted me something that the writer Thomas Merton said: "We are bodies of broken bones." I guess I'd always known, but never fully considered, that being broken is what makes us human. We all have our reasons. Sometimes we're fractured by the choices we make. Sometimes we're shattered by things we would never have chosen. But our brokenness is also the source of our common humanity, the basis for our shared search for comfort, meaning, and healing. Our shared vulnerability and imperfection nurtures and sustains our capacity for compassion. We have a choice. We can embrace our humanness, which means embracing our broken natures and the compassion that remains our best hope for healing. Or we can deny our brokenness, forswear compassion, and as a result, deny our own humanity. On this day of perseverance, in a week of compassion, I ask all of us to look and acknowledge our brokenness. Because the perseverance comes from moving forward with compassion. Min hametzar karatia. Min hametzar karatia. Anani v'merchavia. Laila Tov, and I'll see you tomorrow.